Hey everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast for Friday, January 20th, 2023. Ready? We're going to fly super fast. Here's 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. We love God because he first loved us, and that's the word of the Lord. Ready? Number one, fear is an unfortunate necessity in a broken world. We live in a broken world. There was no fear in the garden. Everything was great. Well, what is it that got us into this problem? Satan comes along. The enemy cannot create like God can. He can only distort, twist, and subvert the truth. That's exactly how he works. Now we live in a broken world where fear is the reality. There are fears that keep us alive, and then there are fears that destroy. There's a protective fear, like don't touch that hot stove, don't go out into traffic. And then there's a destructive fear that says God's not any good. He's not going to come through. He's not worthy of being trusted. And we even fear each other and even fear ourselves. This is not the world that God created. And so now the reality is, as John would say, we're either motivated by fear or motivated by love. The thing that keeps us going is this motivation, either one way or the other. Now, think about how it was in Genesis 3 before the fall. Fear was a foreign concept to Adam and Eve. They had nothing to fear. What would they be afraid of? Where's the risk? It's the same way that a kid thinks. That's why we got to teach them to be afraid of traffic and hot stoves. So I would say that a sure sign of our spiritual growth is when we get to the point where we are so motivated by love, loving God and loving others, and with that love comes a trust in God and a freedom and a joy, that's such a common place for our souls to be in that fear seems like a foreign concept. Why wouldn't I trust God? Why wouldn't I believe he was able and capable to take care of these things? Why wouldn't I believe that he'd be with me in the hard times? Why wouldn't I believe that there's an eternity and in the grand scheme of things, Jesus is going to make all things new? Why wouldn't I believe that? Because I'm afraid. And that fear has a powerful push to it. The beginning of this week, we started talking about snakes and sharks and high places. Now, all of a sudden, we're talking about the deepest part of our souls. Fear is a powerful motivator, and the way you stop it from winning is loving God and loving others and knowing God so well, knowing him with a childlike faith that it seems foreign that there'd be any kind of fear or anything to be afraid of. That's the simplicity of following Jesus. That doesn't mean it's easy, and it doesn't mean that we're blind to it. It means that we see risks and we see possibilities, and we don't freak out. We don't lose our cool because we're not motivated by fear. We're not motivated by self-protection. We're not motivated by the destructive thoughts. We're motivated by love, a love that we know God will protect us. We know that God will carry us through, and we know that he has the only voice of truth. Satan twists. Jesus comes and redeems all things and untwists it again. May he do that for you more and more this weekend. I'm so glad we could spend this week together on RadCast. I'll see you Monday. That's RadCast.